Number 19, we have a quadrilateral again. So I know that I'm going to worry about z later, and this 120 doesn't really help me until later, but I'm going to start by solving for x and y. If I know that I have a quadrilateral inside or inscribed in a circle, then the opposite angles are going to be supplementary, which also means that the opposite angles are going to add up to 180. So if I subtract 70, so I added these together and I set them equal to 180. Subtract 70, x equals 110. Easy enough. Now for y, the opposite angles are going to add up to 180. So I'll subtract 82 and I'll get y equals 98. Let me double check. Yes. So now from there I'm trying to figure out z. So in order to figure out z, I know this arc is 120 and I'm looking for z. If I look at angle x, which I know is 110 degrees, that is this angle right here. That angle leads me to this arc. So if I know that angle is 110, remember that arc is going to be twice as much. So I'll say this is 110. This whole arc is 220. Then if I'm looking for just this piece, I know that this arc and this arc make up the whole thing. So I can do 220 minus 120 to figure out that z is going to be 100 degrees. And you could say 100 plus 120 gives you that 220 for that whole thing. For number 20, it tells me just a little bit of information. It tells me that I've got a diameter, or I can see that I have a diameter. It tells me this arc is 106 degrees and this is x and y. So if this is a diameter, that means it cuts a circle in half, which means that this arc right here is 180 degrees. Angle x leads to that arc and is an inscribed angle. If it's inscribed, that means you're going to have to take half of the arc length, or I'm sorry, arc measure, not length. So if this is 180, I'll divide it by 2 to find x. So 180 divided by 2 is 90 degrees. Then from there, I know that this whole arc right here has to be 180 because it's also half of a circle. If this is 106, I can do 180 minus 106, and this arc will be 74 degrees. Thank you very much. Now, if I know that arc is 74, to find y is the inscribed angle that leads me to that arc. So if that's 74 degrees, I can divide it by 2 to find that y is going to be 37 degrees. Now, number 21, it says, let me move my camera so we can see it. We're trying to find the measure of angle BCD, so this angle right here, and the measure of angle BAD, which is this angle here. Those angles will not be congruent, but they all rely, or they both lead to this arc here. I'm going to need to find that arc. So I know that 133, 123, and whatever this is must be 360, because a whole circle is 360. So I can do 360 minus 133 minus 123 to get, I have 104 degrees here. Now, angle BAD has the vertex of the angle being at the center of the circle. So if that's a central angle, it is going to match exactly what the arc is. So this is 104 degrees. The inscribed angle has a vertex on the edge of the circle, or on the circle. So what I'll do is I'll take that 104 and I'll divide it by 2. Remember, this is like an ice cream cone where you'll have more ice cream here than you will at the bottom of the cone. So this needs to be smaller. So you'll take that 104, divide it by 2, and you'll get 52 degrees.